We are right now generating right around $20,000 per month, and we have peaked right around 43 to 45K a month. Really start building out your offer and understanding it at a much deeper level. I would try to focus on these 5 Ps.
All right, guys, welcome back to Video Income Secrets Podcast. My name is Sam, and today I have a super awesome guest, my brother Robert. He's been running a video production agency, and he's actually averaging over 20K a month. So in today's podcast, as always, is gonna be giving us all the tips. So this is gonna be an interesting episode. I'm super excited personally. But guys, if you're getting value, okay, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. But other than that, I'm gonna bring in my man Robert. How you doing, man?
What's going on, Sam? Thank you guys again for your attention. If you are tuning in, first and foremost, your attention is one of the most valuable things in this world currently right now. So we appreciate everyone listening in. Sam, thank you for having me on your platform today, brother. And I am doing fantastic. Just happy to be here. And hopefully my experience and some of my knowledge can be of value to you guys that are tuning in.
All right, sir. I do appreciate you, man, for being so generous and, being able to, open up and, be open to give us all the tips and all the strategies that you're using to, make this kind of revenue in your video business. So you already introduced yourself, your name, but can you tell us, in general, for people who don't know you, who you are, and when did you get started in this video production business?
Absolutely, yeah. So someone who's just tuning in, brand new, have never heard of Robert. You guys know I am Robert, and I run a social media content marketing agency. And essentially what we specialize in is video marketing. So I got started about 6 years ago, and I have a little bit of a backstory. And to give it to you guys in a quick nutshell, I grew up in a different part of the United States. It's called Texas, specifically in Killeen, Fort Hood. So it's the biggest military base in the world. But prior to that, I was actually born in the European islands, Curacao. And language barrier was something huge for me coming here to the U.S. So I spent quite a bit of time building that up. And as you guys may or may not know, I have 2 brothers named Jay Espitia and Rob Espitia as well, which, Sam, I believe you interviewed one of them already here on the podcast.
Yeah, we had Jay.
Which I watched. It was an amazing episode. But the reason I bring them up is because I actually got into video production through Jay and Rob. We got separated at a very young age, and we both moved all 3 of us moved to the US, but we have the same dad, different moms. So we didn't see each other for a long time. And after a while, for my 22nd, 23rd birthday, I reached out to them and found out that they were living in Colorado. So long story short, I went to go visit them and found out they were starting a video company called Culture Media Productions, which at the time they were working with country clubs and starting to work with small to medium-sized dealerships. And I wanted to get out of the current career that I was pursuing, which at the time was construction and a couple of other things as well. But I ended up moving to Colorado with no video experience, no computer experience. I didn't know anything about video editing. I didn't know anything about camera, video production. And that's what led me essentially to get into the video space. And, my brother Jay is actually really passionate about video. So he taught me everything, from learning how to edit in Premiere Pro. Just filming with your phone was the very first thing I started doing, was filming videos on my phone. And I slowly started to build a passion for it, especially video editing was more so what I got really heavily involved in too. So after moving and spending 2 years over there, I started learning how to do outreach. Essentially, this is just the best way that you can get customers online. And through trial and error, I was able to get my first retainer client for $1,000 a month, and her name was Sushi. She was a course creator that I found inside of a Facebook group, and through the method that Sam here knows and plenty of us have taught in the online space, by providing value and having an intentional conversation of being of service to others, we were able to work with her, and then from there we were able to build on and so forth.
Wow, man. Thanks so much for sharing. So that was in what year?
Yeah, so this was back in 2021, going into 22. So I know that was about 2-3 years ago. And in
Yeah.
between all of that, we were able to scale our agency all the way up to 50, 60. I mean, we peaked pretty high in the 60s and even launched an online course that had $100,000 launch. And we bootstrapped it to the Real Deal Video Strategist Club, if you guys know who they are. They're pretty popular in this space with David Bibiano and Mark Cloutier. And I led the entire video editing production side of the course, which was really cool. As I was mentioning earlier, a lot of my passion was into the video editing. So after scaling and learning a few things as a group, we ended up, all of us ended up taking similar but different paths, which led me to start a brand new offer with my new business partner named Zach. And this was about, I would say 10 months ago now, Sam, that we ended up, going different paths. Jay and Rob were in the coaching space now. I'm still in the agency space as well, but I'm also doing a bit of one-on-one coaching with brand new entrepreneurs, or I should say experts who are looking to get into the online space and have a remote offer. So the way that we did this was pretty interesting because it wasn't just like, hey, I didn't know anything. This is, all of this stuff was brand new. This was through over the past 3 to 4 years learning, through trial and error and working with several clients inside of the company, that I was able to attain the skill of being able to learn how to do outreach, provide value, and also deliver a good service, render a good service. So the very first thing I did was I reached the previous customers that we had, previous clients, and I created an irresistible offer, which I like to use the Alex Hormozi equation, which is dream outcome times perceived likelihood of achievement divided by time delay times effort and sacrifice. So essentially what you want to do is you want to increase the dream outcome and the perceived likelihood of achievement, and you want to decrease the time delay and effort and sacrifice. So through that, I was able to build an offer, an irresistible offer that I was able to offer to my previous clients and get my first $5,000 retainer, which then ended up leading to turn into a $10,000 retainer for a few months. We scaled back down to 5 because 10K was a lot. It came with daily vlogging and all of that. Mm-hmm. And we also started reaching out to local businesses here in Austin, Texas. So a couple of them were Austin Plastic Surgeon. We do work with them still. And then we also still work with a few realtors as well. So it's still, everything is tailored within the video marketing space, but more so helping people grow their social media.
Wow, man, we're getting into the juicy stuff. Again, guys, if you're not subscribed, this is the perfect time to subscribe. If you're listening on the audio version, you want to make sure you actually hit the follow. I think there's a follow thing on Spotify. Anyways, before we get into details with the outreach and how you created your irresistible offer, can you, just for someone who's kind of new to this stuff, can you define what is an offer actually, before we get into how you doing all the magic work?
Absolutely. Yeah. So the best way that I can describe an offer, Sam, would be the language barrier between your product and service and the monetary exchange of someone giving you money. So their money. So here you have your product or service. Then you have your offer, which is the language barrier. And then you have the value, which is right now debt fiat notes, which is essentially money, dollars, euros, whatever it is that you're exchanging for that. And that is how we're able to communicate from a service provider or a product creator to a customer or B2B. So there's different ways to do this depending on what kind of offer you're looking to create.
So basically it's like, it's not a video package, because because a lot of people, because I want it to be a little more clear, a lot of videographers used to, okay, I do wedding videography, I do this and that, and I have packages. Okay, I'm going to include two vertical videos and 2 long form YouTube videos, whatever, or 8 hours of shoot plus editing, and like those kind of packages that we used to. Would you consider that as an offer, or it's something else.
Yeah, so that's part of the offer. So if we were to take anything away from this and you wanted to really start building out your offer and understanding it at a much deeper level, I would try to focus on these 5 P's. Number 1, being the person. Before we focus on the what, we want to focus on the who. Who is this offer for? That's going to help us create more of the what we're going to offer them. So it's going to be the person. It's going to be the promise. What is the outcome, right? Dream outcome is going to be here. And then person, promise, path. What is the path? So then what is the perceived likelihood of achievement? What steps do they have to take? What intrinsic steps, each and every single step, do they have to take to achieve what you're promising them? So person, promise, path. And then we get into the packaging. This is kind of where you create the video packages.
Yeah.
Is it a retainer? Is it a one-off? What's included? Do you have social media management? Are you providing them a certain type of dream outcome? Is it doubling the revenue? Is it more authority online? Right? When we talk about these video packages, a lot of people are selling authority building packages and not results driven packages as far as money goes. So there's 2 different ways to do that. And certain clients come to us and say, hey, we're not looking to get more leads. We're getting plenty of leads right now. We just want to be an authority online. We just want to grow organically, build authority so we can be more credible in the online space. And that's what I like to call an authority package. And then there's the people who come to us and say, hey, we want to get more leads. And that would be a result driven package there, more of a result monetary package there. So we have 4 P's so far: person, promise, path, packaging, and then there's one more there, and it'll come to me in a second. But for now, I'd write down those 4, and through that, you're able to at least start to get more of an understanding on how to create your offer.
Right, dude. I hope you guys are taking notes because this is powerful. So can you now walk us through your process on acquiring clients or leads? I mean, which will start with your outreach. I mean, I know you talked about it a little earlier. Can we get into that?
Absolutely. And before it escaped my mind, is actually person, problem, promise, path, and packaging.
Cool.
So ideal client, current situation, desired situation, the promise, and then the delivery as well. So just for anyone there that wanted to write those 5 P's down. So can you please repeat the question again? You mentioned a little bit of outreach.
Your outreach process, how you acquiring your leads, if eventually turn them into clients.
Yeah, so I'm sure you're familiar with the CEO method, Sam, which is essentially content, engagement, and outreach. So what we like to do is we want to create content, and this is where a lot of people are being not misled, but they're being told, hey, just create content that is talking about your offer, which is great. I love that, but you really want to create content that's going to provide value. Right? And the way that you can provide value is by solving problems, right? This is essentially what we like to call as a lead magnet, right? You can create these lead magnets, which are part of your offering. They're just a piece. A lead magnet is just simply a solution that solves a very narrow problem that opens up the door to all these other problems which your core offer solves for them. So when it comes to acquiring new customers, we want to provide value in the form of content, but it's not just good enough to create content. We want to make sure that we are also researching content that's currently performing well within your niche. So the way that I like to do this is I like to create a content research process, which I've talked about a few times on my Facebook. And the way that you do this is you have your niche, then you have your subtopics, and then you have your keywords. And what you do is after you build out this list, you go and type in your keyword in the Instagram search bar or the TikTok search bar, and then you look and see what content's currently performing. And the reason why is not because we want to copy word for word what someone's doing. We don't want to be a carbon fiber copy of someone else, or neither do we want to plagiarism, but we want to draw inspiration and see what's currently in demand in the marketplace right now, and what are people craving and asking for, right? What are the raving fans? What are the people out there who want to become a customer, who are ready to buy, are watching and consuming? And the way that I like to think about this is there's 3 levels of content that you can create. We all know that there's educational, there's entertainment, and then there's inspirational content, or thought reversal as well. There's, you can interswap those, but there's also 3 stages of the customer journey, which is people who are unaware of you. So you want to create content so people can become aware of you. There are people who are aware of you, but they don't know what you do. So this is where you want to educate them on what you do. And there are people who are aware of what you do, of who you are, what you do, and they're looking for solutions. They're actively looking to purchase a solution, and it could be from you or your competitor. So depending on how often and frequently you are posting content, creating content that's valuable, and how you're presenting it, and what levers you're hitting on, right? Are you just talking to people who are unaware of you, or are you talking to people who are aware of you and but they don't really know you? And then are you creating content who is actively providing solutions for your client? So once you identify those 3 and you're creating content and you go through the content research process, which I have a video on my YouTube, it's free, it's out there. I show you the whole process on how to do this and give you all the resources and all of that. You essentially go into the scripting process. You create your content, you script it, you film it, all the stuff Sam here can help you with. And after you do that, then you start posting content. And there's a couple of different ways that you can go about outreach, which there's 2 ways, right? We know, and this is another Alex Hormozi equation I want to bring up because it's just so good, and it came from $100 million leads. And essentially there's only 4 ways to acquire customers, and I'm pretty sure you know this as well, Sam. And then there's one-to-one and one-to-many, and there's people who know you and there's people who don't know you. And the way that we can do this is that we can outreach to people who don't know us. This is called cold outreach. And then we can outreach to people who do know us. This is called warm outreach. And then we can also post content, which is one-to-many, to people who know us, who don't know us. And then we can also run paid ads to people who don't know us. And this is the cold outreach. Posting content is more so of the warm marketing method to be able to bring inbound leads. So that's essentially the way that I like to think about inbound and outbound leads. And as I'm speaking about acquiring customers, the reason why this is important of inbound and outbound leads, because getting outbound leads is really tough. I'm pretty sure a lot of us, including myself, have been taught, hey, go out there, send out 20, 30 DMs, do X, Y, and Z. And it's just like, hey, man, like that's hard. Like that's like going outside and knocking on people's doors and trying to sell them something. Extremely tough. Which then leads me to the other path, which is the inbound leads method, which is the one that I like to lean on more, which is you're creating content so good and you have the back-end systems built out, which is essentially your YouTube, like how Sam has here, your lead magnets, your free trainings, your PDFs, whatever it is, and you're getting people to go through your funnel, right? Can be through your personal profile funnel, which is essentially just your social media and maybe a landing page, or just YouTube, which is free, right? You don't have to worry about all the, HTML codes and all of that stuff. You can have that built out later on. But as long as you're providing a lot of value through your content and you're getting people to engage with your content and you're engaging with them back, and then you're doing some form of outreach to see how you can provide more value, which I can dive into some DMs tactics here as far as providing value in the DMs. How do you do that exactly? There's a couple of different ways. But before I get into that, Sam, any takeaways here for you, or any questions that you want to touch on, anything that stood out that I can expand on before we move on to the DMs?
Look, man, like the reason why you're here is for me to shut up so people can listen to you, So what you're saying, man, it's perfect, on point. I want you to get going. I like what you're giving us in terms of value. Maybe just a little question or something that I want to clarify a little bit. I don't know if I call it to clarify, but it's like, why are you telling videographers or people who are watching now is like, not stop, but stop to just create content for others. Start creating content for yourself and for others. Does that make sense? So basically what Robert is saying is like, okay, because for me, where I come from in terms of like my video production background is I used to just create content for others, or create, wedding videos, commercial videos, real estate videos, but never been on camera. But what you're saying is we should actually be on camera too, create our own content and address our clients' problems. Is that right?
Absolutely. You nailed it there, Sam. I mean, how can we expect to grow our business or really get any business if we're pretty much living under a rock, right? If you're just creating content for other people, but you're not posting for yourself, right? You're not documenting the journey. How can others get inspired from you, draw inspiration from you, and want to even work with you if they don't know you exist? And this is actually one of the tougher things that I had to overcome early on, because I have an accent. English is my fourth language, so my accent just comes out very, very strong. And if you scroll down all the way down to my Facebook 2 years ago, we were already posting micro content, which back then was content that was 2.5 minutes long, was considered short form content. And we would do the whole intro. Hi, I'm Robert from Culture Media Coach. And today we're going to talk about 1, 2, 3. And then I would talk about 1, 2, 3. And then I would do an overview and then a call to action. That was the old method of giving value, which still is, but you just make it a lot shorter. But my accent would really come out, and I would be really, really insecure about this. So it led me to stop creating content for a while. But what I saw when I stopped creating content was that it made my outreach percentages drop down tremendously. So whenever you're not posting content and you're not promoting yourself, you're not sharing the journey, you're not shouting out your clients, the people you're working with, the mentors you're working with, showing people that you also invest into yourself. That's just a good hygiene for business to share with other people. But they're not going to think you're a real human, right? They're going to think you're an AI robot, or they're going to think you're some sort of VA just doing outreach. So that's why it's important to consistently put out value. It
also like builds trust. It like makes people trust you. Like FYI guys, like, with the thing of like having an accent or being different, or like it's not just about, having an accent. You may feel insecure because maybe you certain race, you have an accent, or you come from certain region of the world, whatever. Look, FYI, nobody cares about that. Okay, people care about value. If you are solving their problems, okay, regardless of your accent, whatever your origin, your race, they are going to buy from you. FYI. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I know, like, I had some issues like that as well. I have an accent, I'm black, I have so many excuses before I started creating content. But when I started, actually, I have 20, I'm hitting 26K subscribers on my main YouTube channel. I create helpful content, educational content, and I've never had, maybe had one comment that, actually never had a comment talking about my accent or mocking my accent. In all 26,000 people that have subscribed to my channel, and thousands of comments that I have on my channel, right? All that I get is like, oh, thank you so much for the video. This was helpful. How can I get in touch with you? How can, people just booking me to help them, booking consultations and stuff like that. So FYI, don't be insecure. I know you may have it when you're getting started, but nobody cares. Just focus on value. All right, my man, Robert. All right, let's get going. We're talking about outreach. So now you creating content, you're making people trust you, you sending those DMs, you providing value. And then how do you get people now to actually, get into your CRM or whatever you're using to actually get their contact information and actually get them to buy from you?
Yeah, absolutely. So recently, like I mentioned, I started to just created a new offer for one-on-one coaching, helping specifically people who are experts starting out in the online space and wanting to grow their remote offer, and build an audience, build trust, but also make money online. So my messaging starting to change a little bit. So I wanted to start experimenting a little bit with it. And the thing is that the principles apply to any industry, to any niche. And to break it down into the simplest form, and we can expand upon this, is there's essentially 3 stages that I like to think about this. And I'm pretty sure all of you guys might have heard this before, but if you haven't, the first stage is going to be, where is the person at now, right? So you want to find out, what are their current problems? What are their current limiting beliefs, which is kind of more of that than problems a lot of the time. And then you want to find out, where do they want to go? Where do they like? What is their dream outcome? What is their desired state, their desired income, their desired, like their dream, whatever it is, right? Where do they want to be? And then you also want to find out what's currently holding them back. Is it time? Is it money? Is it a limiting belief? And so through asking qualifying questions and asking just genuinely, just being curious is the main spark to a good DM conversation, because once you become curious, then you genuinely want to provide value. So I would say the very first thing is just genuinely be curious about the person, right? Instead of sending a cold DM and just something very bland, for example, like, hey, it's great to connect with you, right? Usually I'll say, hey, James, it's really good to connect with you. I sent you a DM because I saw that you also have kids. I have 2 daughters myself. So it's really good to see an entrepreneur like yourself pushing forward and growing your business online. And most people will reply to that, or they'll heart it. That's the main thing that we're trying to get here, is people to either just see our message and heart it, or give us a reply, which is even better. Again, and this is the cold DM outreach process here. So once they heart your message, this is where the content plays into a role, because what this does is it lets Instagram, Facebook know, the algorithm know that people are engaging with us. So it's going to be able to push our content to the top of the feed, and hopefully through good messaging, because you know who your ideal client is, you know what their problems are, their desires are, you're speaking exactly to them. When someone watches your content, the first thing they should think is, how do they know what I was thinking? How do they know that I'm going through this? Yeah. And when someone genuinely feels that way, and they genuinely feel like you can help them, they're going to be more open to having a conversation with you in the DMs and being vulnerable with you. And this isn't an opportunity for you to take advantage and just sell them, but actually genuinely find out if you can genuinely help this person. Like, can I actually give this person value and provide them the transformation that they're looking for? And when you do that, DM conversations, sales calls, all of that becomes a lot easier, which leads me to, how do I get them in the CRM? Well, I invite them to a connection call, which sometimes turns into a sales call. And it's just for you to use your discernment, your ability to judge whether it's going to be a connection call or a sales call, and, a sales conversation. But that's essentially how I've been doing it, and it's been working really, really well for me. It's just being genuinely curious in the DMs, providing value. And I just learned this new tactic that I'm going to be trying out, which I really resonate with and I feel aligned with, and it's aligned with my values. And it's essentially giving value in the DMs in the form of a Loom video. So doing some sort of audit on their page. Like, hey, I see this, you can improve this and that. Yeah. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I haven't personally done it yet, but I've been hearing a lot of feedback from the market and other programs that I'm currently in, that's working really, really well for people.
Yeah, Loom videos are great. I do it every time I send a Loom video. Somebody asks me a question, I send a Loom video. You could see like the way they respond back. It's like, oh my God, they are so happy and joyful, and they just want to check you out and look at everything that you have to offer, I guess. So yeah. I think I'm about to close a deal actually, through the same method. I mean, WhatsApp actually, sending Loom videos like that. Right? I'm about to close a deal. Hopefully it's gonna go through, but I'm very close. So it does work. So are you currently using Facebook and Instagram for outreach mainly, or any other platforms you're using?
Yeah, so currently right now, the main two platforms I do use is Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
And because we do a very good job with our clients, we get a lot of referrals.
Okay.
That is one thing that we thrive in is the referrals. That's one of the main drivers of our business, is just making sure that we have that we're working in harmony with our clients, and we're giving them so much value that they refer us to other people. And I actually had a recent client come in. This was just last week, and is a new coaching client, and I signed her on for $5,000 for 4 months. And I got an objection during the sales call, and it was like, Robert, this sounds amazing, but it's just a little bit out of my budget right now. And so then I asked her a question. I was like, okay, well, just so I know, what do you mean by it's out of your budget, right? And then she says, oh, well, the whole 5,000 right now is a lot. Can we break it down into payments? So then I said, yeah, sure. We could break it down into payments. So, we have the and I told her, I was like, okay, look, what we can do is we can put $1,000 down today to get started, and then we can work out a monthly plan. Kid you not, after the first call we had together, because I genuinely care about solving her problems and wanted to create something that's tailored for her and her outcomes. She ended up actually paying another $1,500 after the first call and say, hey, I see the value now. The first call was just so valuable. I want to go ahead and pay you guys in advance and pay you guys another $1,500. So she already paid 50% of her total invoice. And it just goes to show, whenever you do genuinely care about your people and you care about the people you're servicing, they're more than willing to pay you money and also refer you people, which increases the lifetime value of that customer over time.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about creating a win-win solution, really, a situation. If you can create a win for them, then there's no point paying you.
Exactly. Just to expand really quick as well, I know we were talking about outreach, and I might have left this out, but Sam, you're familiar with this already, and I know my brother Jay as well has spoke on this, has been to go into Facebook groups to outreach to people. This is another method that I use as well, is after you have your niche document. If you guys don't know what a niche document is essentially composed of these few questions, which I have in front of me if you guys want to write them down, and Sam, I'm happy to send this over to you so you can link it down below. But essentially you want to write down your offers, which we talked about a little bit earlier. The best way to do this is to use the offer equation and then use the 5 P's that we talked about as well. And then you want to write down, what is my niche? What are the current and desired situations? What is our big promise? What is stopping them from achieving their desired situation? What are the specific problems they are facing? What are they angry about? Who are they angry at? What have they tried that has failed? What trends are occurring or will occur in their business or lives? And what are the emotions they feel because of all this? Now, why is this important? Well, once you have this information all written down, this becomes your sales copy. This becomes essentially the guidelines that you use to create your lead magnets, your VSLs, and even some of your short form content, which then can help you come up with your subtopics, your keywords, which you go into a research process to make sure you're not just creating everything else that isn't working, and you're making sure that you're optimizing for the best results possible. And this goes for your clients as well. Now, I also share this here because once you have your niche document, you can go and put it into ChatGPT and ask it to find you who are the creators who are servicing the same people you're servicing, and to give you the highest converting creators who are attracting and converting your ideal clients. And you can go see what their funnels, what their funnels look like, what methods are they using. That's just another way that you can essentially do market research. And we want to do this because we don't want to be ignorant or oblivious to what's already working. So I just did that not too long ago, and it just tremendously helped me out to funnel hack people and just see what's working for them. How can I implement it in my own way, and and so forth.
So what you're saying, you get into their funnels, you opt in.
Yes, you opt in. You see how you're getting nurtured, and also you see how it makes you feel as you're going down their funnel. It's like, hey, is this actually valuable? Does this make me feel good? Does this make me feel like I want to buy? So. Yo,
guys, that's gold, man. I used to think I was the only one doing it. I keep opting into people's funnels, just to learn how they are doing things. So it's good to know that other people are doing it. Oh man, this is awesome. So you talked about the niche document. By the way, guys, if you want to get access to the niche document, comment below niche and we'll find a way to get it to you. But also make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. But yeah, so what you're saying is you have to pick a niche when you're doing this type of agency model kind of work. Because let's say if you're servicing like real estate agents and you're servicing, I don't know, doctors, maybe, whatever, practitioners, whatever, like it's hard to create content on both niches at the same time. They may have different problems. So are you suggesting that people should pick to serve one niche, or could you do multiple niches? And of course that relates to the type of content you're going to be creating on, on your profile, they're going to be posting.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's a great question, Sam. That's one there that I struggle with for a long time because I wanted to serve everyone. I was like, hey, anyone and everyone who needs videos, I got you. Like, just hit me up. Like, we'll sauce you up. We'll get you right. But the matter of fact is that, there's that famous quote, a master of none and a jack of all trades. A jack of all trade and a master of none is the way it goes. I'm butchering there, so don't at me in the comments. But so essentially, we do want to get very, very niche down and be more specific with who we work with. For example, I worked with this lady named Nicole about 6 months ago, and she was an online fitness coach. But unlike all other online fitness coaches, she's focused on a very specific niche. And she was helping busy moms who were going through a menopause lose their first 10 pounds of belly fat. And guess how much she was making in her business, Sam?
How much?
She was making $1 million a year just servicing that niche.
Oh my God. What did they
so
say? The riches are in the niches? As they're saying?
Yes, absolutely. And as I was studying Alex Hormozi's book yesterday on offer creation, there's a certain books that when you find and they really resonate or they're really helpful for you at that time, reread them. That's something that I'm focusing more on, is rereading books that help me a lot. And that's essentially what you want to do if you're under $3 million or less. It's just niche down very specifically, and it's going to help you make a lot more money. Which honestly, I see that now because when I was just marketing to everyone, it was just very hard for me to even create an offer solution that is very specific to someone, that when they look and see, when they hear my content and they're looking through my stuff, they're like, oh, this is specifically for me. And just like everything else in life, right? If I'm gonna go buy a t-shirt and they have all these shirts that look really good, but they're all different sizes, I'm going to go look for the size that fits me exactly. So for me, I'm a medium. So even though I've gone to stores before and they don't have a medium, they'll have a small or a large. And I'm like, but I really like this shirt. I just won't buy it because it's not my size. It's not exactly what I need. And that's going to fit me. Yeah.
Oh man, that's powerful. I think also that applies to your offers. Who told me, I think was Rob. I was on a call with him and your brother, and I was like, I want to create offers. It's like, dude, you don't have to create offers. You have to wait to have a conversation with the client first or with the prospect, and then use their words to create a specific tailored to them kind of offer. Because that's the offer they're going to buy. Because if you just create an offer out of what you're thinking that they need, it may be like, as you just said, it could be like, size medium and maybe they wear small, right? So that's powerful, man. Like, having a niche and understanding, the more you understand their problems and their desires, the more you're going to create an offer that they will, say yes to, without even thinking about it.
Exactly. Just to expand on that a little bit more as well. when you're going to go pick out a market, there's essentially 3 different markets that you can focus on. And these are the only 3 markets there are, which is health, wealth, and relationships. Those are the only 3 markets that you can genuinely exchange your time, service, product for an equal exchange of value, which would be a monetary exchange, which would be money. So for us, we're in the wealth space, right? We are video creators, videographers who service online coaches, course creators, aspiring entrepreneurs, create video content and market on social media. And, they're looking to, majority of them, make more money. So that's why we're in the wealth space. And once you're able to identify that, you're able to look into further things like one of the things that Alex Hormozi said, again, I'm going to quote him on a lot of these things, but number one being the pain. You want to identify what pain are they currently going through, right? If you don't identify the pains, you won't be able to speak directly to them. Now, the second thing is going to be, I'm sure you heard of this one, Sam, can they afford your service or products, right? Yeah. So can these people in this market afford your products or service? And this is something that my brother Jay actually have spoken on a lot before, and a perfect analogy and even an example we've gone through together was the reason that we don't work with coffee shops is because in order for us to get them a return on investment for their video package, let's say it's a $3,000 video package, and they're selling cups of coffees for, let's say, $3. How many cups of coffees are they going to have to sell in order for them to make their return on investment? So that's why we hyper target high ticket online coaches, course creators, people who are having a remote offer that's $1,000 or more. Because people who have a remote offer, that means they have their business is online, there are the ones who are more than likely to benefit from video marketing services.
Yes, sir. That's well said, man. So before we actually land the plane, because time is going fast, to be honest, I don't want to end this episode because I feel like I'm getting a lot of value. But anyways, can you talk about your current revenue? How many clients do you actually have? How were you able to scale to 20K? You actually told me there's a month that you guys made about 40K in 1 month. How were you able to get to that? And eventually after that, I'm gonna ask you the following question. You can address both questions, which would be, can you give us like practical steps for someone who's in a situation where either they're getting started or they're doing video but they're not getting any traction? They're trying to make it, maybe get to that 10K, 15K a month revenue. Yeah, so go ahead, and would love to hear your insights on that.
Sweet, great question, Sam. So very first thing, yes, so we have the receipts and everything to prove it. Like we are right now generating right around $20,000 per month, and we have peaked at right around 43 to 45K a month, right around 2 to 3 months ago, I'd say. And the way that this happened was we were able to, to be able to hit $20,000 per month and of recurring revenue, not just once, is you got to be able to build a retainer package that you can service month over month to your ideal clients. And this is a problem, again, that they're facing month after month. So just a quick example here is if, for example, one of the guys that I work with named Nick Camadina, you guys can go check him out, check out his content, everything that we're doing. He is a very, very, very busy online coach. He's a business coach, online business coach, and he has a hybrid model offer, which is essentially a mastermind where he brings in people who are looking to scale to 10, 20, 30, 40, 100K per month, and he puts them in this group, which is called the mastermind, and he coaches them in a group setting. So this is one of the ways that Alex Hormozi talks about being able to offer value, is either one-on-one, small groups, or one too many. So those are 3 different ways there, and there's a lot more, like videos, recordings, all of that, lives, presentations, all of that stuff. So so as being able to solve someone's problem month after month and charging a pretty good price for that, a high ticket price, for us right now, that looks like all of our clients are paying anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 per month. And right now we're working with 4 real estate agents, either brokers or agents. And then we're also working with an online high ticket online coach. And we're also working with a neurosurgeon who's a content creator. So pretty crazy. You guys can look him up. His name is Dr. Z. He has over 250,000 followers. And we just started working with him, and the guy's crushing it, and he's actually making money from his personal brand. So you can find people who are high achievers who are making money from their social media but don't have any time to consistently edit their videos. So we have 6 clients right now, and that's averaging right around, I would say, 18 to 20K per month. And then we also have one-off clients, which are the the plastic surgeon. So if you guys look up Austin Plastic Surgeon, they also have an Instagram on there. And we work with them, and we do monthly video packages for them as well, but it looks a lot different. It's not a retainer. It's more so like, hey, we're going to do this marketing campaign this month for our emails. We're going to send out newsletter, and we want to film these videos. We're going to film a commercial, and we want to film this video. So then we just price them differently. So it's really hard to track and say we're going to make this much from them this month. So, I would be lying to say that we make a certain amount from them, but it is still adds on to our monthly recurring revenue because they keep coming back because they love us. They love the service we provide. And the way that we were able to do this was essentially, I remember from how we got the real estate clients, this came from the Loom outreaches actually, which was performed by my business partner, Zach. And what he told me that he did was he went on Zillow and looked up the top performing real estate agents and got their emails, all of them, put it in a spreadsheet, 50 to 100 people. And he started sending 5 to 10 Loom videos to each real estate agent, explaining to them how he can help them grow their social media, how he can help them build an online presence, build authority, and also be able to make money from their content. And surprisingly enough, one of those clients that we have now, we're actually looking not to get more leads, but to grow their team. So we created an organic recruiting campaign for them to be able to bring in more agents into their firm because they had so much business. So there are people out there who aren't just looking to make more money from the content, which is a little bit hard to quantify when you're doing organic, right? Because unless you have all of the systems in place and you know how long it's taking the lead from the minute they contacted the brand all the way until they got the sales call, how long does that take for you, right? It's different for a lot of people, depending on what systems they have, right? So through the Loom outreaches and recreating our offers and sending Loom videos. And here's a quick method as well. If you have any old clients or if you're in the DMs and you're doing prospecting, you can say something along the lines of, hey, I have a crazy idea. Would you happen to have 10 minutes, right? Everyone has 10 minutes and everyone's curious to know what your crazy idea is. So we've been able to get people on the phone just by saying that and then presenting to them an offer that we have created. And through that, we've been able to accumulate these retainer clients. So a lot of it did come from Loom outreaches, previous clients, and also referrals as well. The combination of those 3 has been the main sources of revenue for our business. And right now we are mastering the art of doing the cold outreach and having more of that approach and also having people come in from the content as well. Have we generated clients from our content? Yes, we have. We have gotten people who came in and have said, Robert, I want exactly what you have. So that's how you know you're doing a great job. Yeah. You're doing a good job. It's when people say, hey, I want exactly what you have. So that's why they say build it for yourself first and then go and build it for your clients as well. And sometimes you don't get to do that. Sometimes you have to go build it for your clients first. You get paid to learn. I've gotten paid to learn a lot of things. And so that's a quick explanation of that. Is there anything you want me to expand on that?
No, I think it was perfect actually. So in terms of practical steps, I think you already covered that. I mean, the entire episode was about you taught us how you do your outreach and how you get clients. Are you using any specific CRM? I know I personally use VIDLEAD Studio. Do you use VIDLEAD Studio or use something different?
Yeah, so right now we're using GHL and Airtable.
Okay.
So I'm currently being mentored, and my mentor uses Airtable. So the difference between, really quick, just to not go on a tangent, but the difference between GHL, VidLead, and something like Airtable is more like a database, and then GHL, VidLead is more like a CRM.
Yeah.
So I like to be able to store my data. That way I can look back and see what has been working for us, and being able to build more systems and on Airtable has been just something that has been really, really helpful for me. But to answer your question, yes, I'm updating my CRM that's on Airtable for prospecting.
Cool. All right, guys. I mean, we only have 1 hour with Robert. If you want him to come back, I'm sure he had more stuff to share with us, more strategies and tips on how to scale your video production business to something like 10K, 15K, 20, even over 20K a month. Make sure you leave a comment down below and let us know, and we're going to invite him back. Unfortunately, we only have 60 minutes with him. So before we close, man, for people who would want to connect with you, what's the best way to connect with you?
Sweet. Yeah, you can find me at Robert_Espitia_ on Instagram. And then you can just find me at Robert Espitia on Facebook. And I'm sure that Sam here can tag down the links down below if you guys want to connect. If you have any questions, I'm not going to sell you anything. Just, if you genuinely need help, you want to get started, you want to get things going, shoot me questions. I love to answer them. And who knows, maybe I'll create content around your questions as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching, and thanks to our guest, Robert, man, brother. Thank you so much. I do appreciate your time. I know you're busy, and yeah, you gave us a super value-packed 60 minutes here on the channel. So thank you so much. I do appreciate you, man, personally. And for everyone who's watching, either you're watching on video or listening on the audio podcast, thank you so much. And again, last time on my last episode, I was with Robert's brother, who's his name is Jay. He's actually he's my coach, full disclosure. So yeah, so you want to make sure you check out that episode. If you're on video, I'm gonna make sure I link it somewhere here or there. So you want to make sure you check it out because it's super value packed. Other than that, if you're on audio as well, I will make sure I put it somewhere on Spotify. You're gonna find it for sure. Or maybe search J Video Income Secrets. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Any last word you wanna say, Robert, before we close?
Yeah, really quick. If you're just getting started and you don't believe that your offer is good enough or the value that you have to provide is good enough, all I ask you to ask yourself is, do I genuinely want to help people, or am I looking, just to make money? And I know we all need to make money to take care of our families, but until we can fully surrender to the path of service to others, we won't be able to attain and gain the things that we want to gain for ourselves. So the path is to be able to achieve these things is being of service to others. And there's no better way of living our life but serving our brothers and sisters here on earth. So I just encourage everyone to really just do the inner work first, get out there, trial and error. It's going to feel uncomfortable a lot of times. You're going to want to give up, but find a coach, surround yourself with the mastermind with Sam. You guys can hit me up and get around a group of people that genuinely care about you and want to see your success and yourself grow as well.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Again, I do appreciate you, and I appreciate you guys for watching. And we will see you on the next episode. Take care.